Good morning, good afternoon, good evening internet, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Economical Rides. Hi there, look, you join me today on a sunny and warm day out on Buddy, my Royal Enfield Meteor 350. Buddy, I hear you say? I've never heard you refer to him as Buddy before. Well, that's because my Meteor, after nearly 10 months of ownership, has finally found its name. So we're just going to go for a little ride now, and I'll explain to you why my Meteor is from now on called Buddy. There are three main reasons, and we'll just go for a little ride and a little chat. It's just nice to be back out in dry weather. It's very warm today, actually. It's quite pleasant. We'll just go for a little ride, a little chat. I'll explain why he's called Buddy, and yeah, we'll just see how we go. So let's go. So it's very windy today, so I apologise if you can hear the wind on the audio. I've got my visor down, so it's the best we can do. This road isn't terribly exciting. We won't be riding any mountain roads today. I just wanted a nice, easy, straight, relaxing run. Genius driver there, well done, son. So, yes, this road's not terribly exciting, but I just wanted a nice relaxing road to get back on the Meteor and just enjoy the cruise today. We're not in any rush. So, why is my Meteor now called Buddy, I hear you ask? Or maybe you don't ask, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Buddy is the name I chose for three reasons. Firstly, I always felt that my Meteor was a male bike. I know vehicles, ships and things, aircraft quite often tend to be female, but that never felt appropriate for my Meteor. It always felt like a male bike. So that was the first thing. So I was thinking of male names and I couldn't really come up with one, and I didn't really want an alliterative name like Malcolm the Meteor. So I was really struggling to come up with a name, and I did think about doing a Name My Meteor competition on my channel, but then the realisation that I'd probably have to give a prize to the winner, you know, that kind of put me off the idea, because I was too tight to think of a prize for you. So anyway, basically I just said, oh, whatever, it's just the Meteor, it won't have a name. So 10 months have passed, and in one of his videos, Ainsworth Rider, whose channel I mentioned in a previous video, was referring to another channel called The All Year Motorcyclist. Now this All Year Motorcyclist had named one of his bikes. I'll put a link to his channel in the video description as well, since I nicked a name off him. This All Year Motorcyclist, he named his bikes Buddy and Biggles. Buddy was his Bonneville T100, which I think he's recently acquired. When an Ainsworth rider mentioned in one of his videos that this guy had named his bikes Buddy and Biggles, and he thought that was amusing. And when he said Buddy, I thought, that's it, that's the name for my Meteor, because my Meteor has always felt like a best friend. It's always felt really eager to please and to go out and have adventures with me. So I thought, yeah, Buddy, that's the name to go with. So that was the first reason why I chose Buddy. As soon as I heard it, I thought, yes, that's it. So credit to the All Year Motorcyclist for coming up with that name. It was a name I would never have come up with on my own, so that was brilliant. So this is now Buddy, my Meteor 350. So that was the first reason, and obviously buddy is another word for friend, so the fact that this bike has always been such an eager companion and willing friend, it just seemed really apt that it should be Buddy. The second reason why I found Buddy such a cool name was because I'm a really big fan of Buddy Holly, believe it or not, and his contribution to music in the decades that followed after his death was just amazing. Buddy Holly died when he was 22 years old, and when you think of the sheer amount of music, memorable music, influential music that he made in those 22 years, it's just baffling. He was so prolific that they were releasing new Buddy Holly records 10 years after he died. He had so much stuff already down, it was amazing. So being a big Buddy Holly fan as well, that was another reason for it. And the third reason for choosing Buddy is more of a poignant one, really. Buddy was the last word my dad said to me before he died at the end of February of this year. So now, every time I ride my bike, my Meteor, I will be reminded of my dad. So I thought, well, that's not going to be a bad thing. So 3 very good reasons why my bike is now called Buddy. The Classic doesn't have a name yet. I don't know, I'm not desperate to name the Classic just yet, but the Meteor from today onwards is going to be called Buddy. So yeah, where we're riding today, we're just riding to a village that I'm familiar with, and I thought we'll take this road because it's nice and straight and I can just have a nice relaxed cruise. As you can see by the people overtaking and doing silly speeds today, it's Easter Saturday today. There are so many idiots on the road at the moment that taking the bike up a mountain road could be taking your life in your hands. You're quite likely to find somebody cornering on their door handles, coming out onto your side of the road mid-bend, so probably best to avoid it. So this is a nice straight and easy road, and I just thought we can just chug along with the Meteor at a nice relaxing cruise speed, and hopefully we won't have to do too many avoidances of idiots. So that's why the bike is called Buddy. Yes, so after a fair while we're finally able to make another video with the Meteor. I did have a comment complaining that or alleging that I had no love for the Meteor since all my content was classic content. Well, the reason for that was quite simple. I mean, since I bought the Classic until today, we'd had 4 dry days since I bought the Classic. Now obviously I didn't have any content because we only had 4 dry days in about 7 or 8 weeks. So every time it was dry I had to go out and make a video, because otherwise, you know, we'd have gone weeks without new content. And obviously if I was going to go out and make a video, I had to take the Classic because I needed to get the 500 kilometers on it as soon as possible to get the first service out of the way, so that then I would no longer be restricted on the kilometers. So that was why the content was all Classic for a while, not because I've fallen out of love with the Meteor, not at all, but just purely because the riding opportunities were so limited. I mean, if it had been normal weather, I would have quite happily done one video on the Classic and then another video on the Meteor and so on and so forth. But when your riding is so restricted as it was in the last couple of months, and you've got a bike which needs to hit 500 kilometers as soon as possible to get the first service out of the way, obviously if it's dry you're going to hop on that bike and put miles on it. So that's basically the only reason why the Meteor hasn't featured. It's just been down to a total lack of riding opportunities, unfortunately. But now the Classic's had its service, both bikes are not seriously limited kilometre wise now, so I can pick and choose which bike to take out at my leisure. So from now on hopefully there'll be a bit more variance in which bikes we take out. Well, this bit of road's quite boring really, so I'll just show you a little bit of the barren landscape here. It's there's a little bit on this side, but that side's looking pretty pretty rugged. But anyway, yeah, it's a little bit boring here at the moment, so what I'll do is I'll hand you back to the studio, because we do actually have another Bods Mods segment for you, and it's our first ever Other Bods Mods featuring a classic 350. So I'll hand you back to ER in the studio for another Other Bods Mods segment, and I'll join you when he's finished. Bye bye.
Other Bods Mods, Other Bods Mods. Some of you bods are clever sods. Other Bods Mods, Other Bods Mods. Let's pay respect to some Other Bods Mods, yo. Respect.
Come on, fit you bastard.
Welcome to a little segment we call Other Bods Mods. Today we are presenting Peter Jones' Royal Enfield Classic 350 luggage mod. Yes, that's right. This is the first Classic 350 Other Bods Mods. So Peter started by mounting the standard Royal Enfield pannier mount, which you can see here. He then purchased this brown leather bag from India off eBay. I will put a link to this same bag in the video description in case you're interested. And then this bag on the pannier rail looks like this. Peter sent me a fair few pictures of his bike looking magnificent in halcyon black. These pictures were also taken in some spectacular scenery. This is Lady Bower Reservoir in Derbyshire in the United Kingdom. And I have to say, this seems to be one of the most attractive luggage options for a Classic 350. Admittedly, it's lopsided, it's only available on the right hand side, but I think it's kind of sympathetic to the look of the bike, and this brown bag with the black bike with the brown seat. I think it looks like it belongs there, and obviously it gives you the luggage capacity you would need for a day ride. So if I were going to look for a luggage option for my Classic, I think I'd be looking to do something similar. I think it's a really nice, sympathetic, attractive option, and pretty easy to do because you only need the standard Royal Enfield pannier frame, which is readily available, and then you buy the bag of your choice, or you buy the bag that I've linked in the video description, which Peter has, and you have a very securely mounted, attractive, sympathetic luggage option on your Classic 350. So thank you, Peter. I really do think it's one of the more attractive luggage options I can imagine for the Classic 350. So very well done. Thank you for the beautiful pictures as well. Really nice photos. Thank you so much. So that concludes this episode of Other Bods Mods. That was the Classic 350 of channel subscriber Peter Jones. If you have a mod of your own, be that on a Meteor 350 or a Classic 350, please get in touch with me. Send me some pictures. You can do that via my email, which is available on my channel on the info tab of my channel homepage, or possibly you can get in touch with me on Instagram. My Instagram account is EconomicalRides, written together. So yeah, if you send me some pictures and a brief description of the mods you've done to your bike, I'd be happy to feature them in a future episode.
Well, there you go. That was Peter's Classic 350 in halcyon black. And thank you, Peter, for sending me those pictures of your bike, and what lovely pictures they were too. Your bike was looking really awesome and some beautiful scenery. So thanks for that, Peter, and I hope you think we did your bike justice. So it took me about 45 minutes to get to where this ride started, and that was mainly a straight fast road I actually had to do a little tiny bit of motorway as well, but I really enjoyed it, chugging along at a 90 kilometers per hour on a fairly straight road, proper cruising style. And I was really surprised again just how comfortable the Meteor is at 90 kilometers per hour, and how it's got power on tap at that speed as well. Just felt super relaxed. I don't have that feeling with the Classic yet, but obviously it's going to improve a lot because it's only done, I think it's done 700 to 800 kilometers. So, and you know, once the Classic frees up a bit, it will be similar. But yeah, it was really nice to experience that again. This 90 kilometer an hour relaxed cruising speed of the Meteor. And obviously also I've got my big boots on, and I'm having no problems changing gear because we have the fantabulous heel toe shifter, so that's awesome. So I've been on the bike now for just over an hour, and I don't have any aches or pains anywhere on my body, particularly not in my backside, because as we know, the Meteor touring seat is good for at least 2 hour stints, I would imagine, possibly 3. Yeah, this person does seem to be half asleep, so we'll just, for our own safety, overtake them. I know what I can talk about. The Meteor mod. The Meteor mod. Well, I'll let the cat out of the bag now because it's dragged on for so long. The Meteor mod is actually my attempt to mount some hard luggage to a Meteor, which isn't the lopsided factory option of the plastic weedy bin on one side. So I'm going for a two-sided hard luggage option. Now, I did commence this operation finally last weekend because I figured I had everything I needed to get them fitted, and then in the process of trying to fit them, I realised that I couldn't fit them where I wanted them to be, and I wasn't going to be happy with the end result. So basically that operation got aborted. In the meantime, I've figured out the parts that I'm going to need to get the cases fitted how I want them, and that involves some aluminium spacers, which I don't have, and one of my subscribers, Lanes Explorer, he has his own channel, Lanes Explorer, check it out, it'll be in the video description again. He has his own channel, and he owns a Meteor 350, and he chugs about the lanes of northwest England near the Lake District, and narrates and tells you about his ride after the event. So you watch the video and he watches it back, and he talks about the area, the places he's riding through. Good stuff, so definitely go and check out Lanes Explorer. But anyway, we're in contact, and he is an engineer himself, and I told him I was having problems fitting the cases, and he very kindly offered to make up the spaces that I require. So I gave him all of the dimensions. So currently I'm waiting for these spacers to arrive, and then it will be my second attempt at mounting the hard cases to the Meteor, and then hopefully it will work this time, and there'll be some videos about it. If it does work, it will be a good solution, because it's, like I say, it's not a lopsided solution. You would have a case on each side. The cases are small. It's not touring luggage, it would be day luggage. It would just enable you to take some water, some sandwiches, maybe a couple of tools or a rain suit, just enough for day luggage really. But it would be great, because at the moment I always have to wear a backpack on the bike, which I don't really enjoy. So it'd be good to be able to carry stuff with me on the bike rather than about my person. So that is coming. Those videos will be coming, provided I don't make a total hash of it and break everything. They should still be coming. So at the moment I'm just waiting for the hopefully final parts, which will be these spacers, and then I can mount the cases to my satisfaction. I think I could have mounted them last weekend, but I wouldn't have been happy with the result, and I didn't want to go to all the effort and then not be happy with the end result. So that's what's happening with the Meteor mod, and it's as I say, it's a hard luggage solution, a stereo hard luggage solution, not a mono one like the factory one. It's very windy today. It's weird. I mean, the trees aren't moving a lot, but it's blustery. It's weird. It's incredibly loud in my helmet. Hopefully the audio's not too terrible. So let me tell you about another video I have planned. I'm thinking it would be useful to do a sound recording of the Meteor on the same road where I did my sound recording video of the Classic 350. If I can record the Meteor in the same way on the same road, I'm thinking I can do a nice comparison video of how each bike sounds at the same point on the same road, doing pretty much the same speed, because yeah, it's kind of hard to quantify how they sound different. It's kind of hard to express it in words, other than it just seems like the Classic has a slightly harsher edge to its sound. But if I can record both and switch the audio backwards and forwards between the two, I'm not sure if my editing skills will allow me to do that, but I'll give it my best shot. I think that would be an interesting video, so I'm hoping to take the Meteor up that road soon, and then I'll be able to put that video together for you. Yeah, the Meteor is just so talky compared to the Classic at the moment. I can feel the Classic getting better every time I go out though. There's quite a few hills now where the Classic will go up them in fifth, and the first few times I had to go down to fourth. There's no way it was going to pull fifth up them. So yeah, once you get past about 650 kilometers, you can really start to feel these engines loosen up. But I mean, here we're in fifth gear and I can pull up these inclines, no problem. So it'll be nice when the Classic gets to the same level as the Meteor. But as I say, that's only a matter of time. There's quite a lot of cave houses around here. We might see a couple. I'll point them out if I see a nice one. Well, speak of the devil, there's a whole row of them. Look, see, they're built into the hillside, so they actually go back into the hillside, so they're a lot bigger than they look from the outside. Yeah, that was lovely the way the Meteor just purred up there in fifth gear, no trouble at all. That's quite a steep incline. These things never come out on the GoPro footage, but yeah, I did think I might have to drop a gear, but it wasn't necessary. Some more cave houses there. What else can we talk about? Another cave houses, oh, quite a few of them, little settlement of them over there. What else can we talk about? Yeah, I suppose I should have a bit of a whinge about my Classic, really. I mean, you know, if I'm being totally honest, you know, I haven't got off to the best start with it, really, or it with me, in as much as, you know, we've already had 3 issues with it in the first weeks, which I've had the Meteor for 10 months and I've not had a single issue. Those 3 issues being, obviously the headlight was totally out of whack from the factory. Second issue was more or less having to move the gear lever, because where it's mounted from the factory is pretty much hopeless if you wear thick boots. And now I've got condensation. I've got a water stain in the speedo where the water has now evaporated, so I've got a water stain behind the glass of the speedo, which is delightful. Still getting condensation in the LCD part behind the glass again. So yeah, not super happy. Also, I've noticed on a couple of occasions the fuel pump has been making a right racket. It's been whining really loudly, but it's sporadic, so that suggests to me that it's a fuel pump which is not quite healthy. So yeah, I'm starting to wonder whether I got a bad one, to be honest, but we'll see. Maybe I'm just getting all of my little niggles out of the way first, nice and early, and maybe after that it'll be fine. But first impressions, not super. I mean, it's a great looking bike, but like I say, those little annoyances do make me wonder whether I've got a bad one, but we shall see. Well, this is a bit more like it. This is where the road gets a bit more interesting. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, on Lane's Explorer's channel, or on Peter's channel, he does also do little videos of teddy bears saving remote controlled boats and yachts. So they're quite good fun as well. When he's not out on his Meteor, he's out driving bears about in little radio controlled boats. So definitely variety on that channel. Well, this is pretty much where I intended to turn around, so hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I didn't have a great plan for today, I just needed to get out on the Meteor. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please give me a like. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're interested in watching more videos of classic 350s and Meteor 350s in southern Spain, consider subscribing. That would be helpful to me. And on that note, I shall bid you farewell and see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hello, Ruby. Hello, Ruby. Thank you for looking after the house for Daddy. Thank you. What was that? You weren't sleeping all the time, honest? No, I believe you. You were probably wide awake the whole time, making sure no burglars came. Do you think you earned a sausage? Did you earn a sausage? Let's get you a sausage. If you want a sausage, sit nicely. Sit nicely. Up. Good girl. Sausages. Good job. Thanks for looking after the house, baby. Thank you. Good girl.